Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Coffee with Chris, the podcast on which I share my life with you, as well as answer any questions or concerns or talk about the subjects that you want me to. So if you've got anything you'd like me to talk about on the podcast, make sure to mention it in the comments down below, and I'll get to it as soon as possible. Thank you very much. And thank you for joining me today. If you actually did join me, it's not like I get a whole lot of visitors, and that's okay. I don't know, this is, once again, as I've said so many times before, it's mostly for me. I don't know why I keep repeating that. I think it's for my own sake, so that I don't forget that this is about me and not everyone else. Because if I forget that this is for me, then it might start to bother me that there are no subscribers and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's not like I really do this, for the sake of subscribers. I don't really take it seriously. I don't put in a lot of work. I do it consistently, though. And that's part of what it's about. It's practice on consistency. Now, I've been trying to do that Nightcore thing as well. I've been trying to do that on Wednesdays and Saturdays, but I haven't been doing very well. I haven't been consistent about it. I wanted to work on it yesterday. The reason I missed it Wednesday was because I had to prepare for my examination. I felt like it was fair to skip that one, just like I've skipped a couple of episodes of the podcast before too. But then today, I just haven't gotten around to it because I wanted to do it yesterday. I really did. And I don't even remember why I didn't do it yesterday. I guess I just got caught up in all kinds of other things. Now, what I found out actually, because to those of you who have listened before, you'll know that I've got a lot of projects going on. And what I've realized is that apparently on Shopify, once your plan runs out, once your trial is over, you can't even access your store yourself. And I guess that kind of makes sense, but I was expecting to be able to access my store, continue manipulating it, setting it up, and then just not being able to show it to anyone. Only I could access it, and therefore I couldn't get any sales. But no, apparently even during the setup process, you have to pay for it. And that's okay. That's actually fine. Sure, it bothers me a bit that I need to let go of that much money, but it's not because it's that much. It's just me being poor. Especially given the fact that it will be a little while before it's ready to get up and running again. Though, it's $40, and I'm doing this in Canadian, not American, because the math is easier. So it's $40, and then I plan on setting aside $60 a month for commercials. Well, not commercials, but ads. And then I'll just cross my fingers that it'll work, because that amount of money means that I'll be living off of rice and soy sauce. I really am kind of poor, actually. I'm a student and I don't have a job. So there's that. Now, some of you might be thinking, but if you're a student and you don't have a job, how can you afford traveling to Canada? Well, the truth is I can't. And to those of you who don't know this, again, this is the annoying thing about these things, because this might be your first episode. I'm going to Canada in 2 weeks and I'll be staying for 2 months. Now, the reason that I can afford that is that I have a very lovely girlfriend who happens to have a job, who is willing to pay to get me to come visit her because she lives in Canada. So that's pretty amazing. And she supports my business ventures, so it's not like she's going to get mad at me for pouring money into this. Actually, she's encouraging it and is even planning on helping me with the Facebook ads and stuff. And I've actually been thinking about making her, and she doesn't know this yet, but I have told her about the whole idea that I have of making a group, But what I haven't told her is that I've actually considered including her in that, because she seems to display an interest in being part of it, and I think it would really mean the world to her to be a part of it. So I've actually been thinking of making her our social media manager kind of thing. So basically, I won't set up a page on Facebook for this whole thing. It won't be under my account, it'll be under her account. If she wants it. And, I'm hoping that she'll see it as kind of an honor to handle the page and the ads and stuff like that. Because I really don't, honestly, I don't like Facebook. I'm not a huge fan. I would love to create a Facebook page if I didn't have to connect my personal account to it. And that's not because, my data. It's actually more so I just like separation of concerns. I really, really like having separation of concerns. And business and private should not be mixed. I say that right after saying that I want to include my girlfriend as... Well, that's not entirely what I mean. I mean, you can include private people, friends, family, whatever. Sure, you need to be a little wary and all of that. But it's more so on a bigger scale, so to speak. I don't want to mix my private Facebook account with my professional Facebook. I wish you could create a page without a Facebook account. But apparently you can't. And that just... Yeah, I don't really know what to do about that. But that's one of the reasons that I'm thinking of giving that task to her. Also so that she feels super included. And, it is something that we're doing together. She's helping me with the shop. She's actually onboarded as a team member on the shop. And her job is... The only thing she really has access to is the extension that we're using to find product suppliers. So she's helping me find products. And now that we've got a lot of products, and all we really have to do is add it. We're thinking that once I add, because we have 140 products that are ready to be imported, that's going to take at least a few weeks. Honestly, it's going to take more than that, because if I do 10 items per day, it'll be done in 2 weeks. And it actually takes a while because there's a lot of work to do. We do a lot of work for each product. It's kind of our niche thing that we are more aware of the products we sell. We ensure that it's only from highly qualified suppliers. We always check the products themselves. We're actually looking once I get back home to Denmark, I'll start ordering products from my own store in an effort to test them out. And we are going to have encouragements for users, customers, I guess, to send us back information about the products that they purchase so that we know the quality levels. And this includes everything from pictures to describing the experience to anything really. Because we want quality. So a lot of dropshippers, you go in, you buy, and you're kind of like, okay, now let's see if it's even a good product. But we want to be that dropshipper where you know that you're going to get a good product like 99% of the time. We don't want to be like Wish or Shine or Alibaba. Oh wait, AliExpress, because Alibaba is the wholesale department. Because when you go in there, it's kind of difficult, right? You never really know what you're going to get. You never really know how long it's going to take, how long it's going to last, all of these things. Well, we want to kind of test that out on users' behalf, which is also why we are mostly importing things that we ourselves would like or could use. So that is to say, there are some items like these notebooks. I don't really want a notebook, but I could make some use of a notebook. I like being able to rip out pages. And also I have a reusable notebook. There's a Rocket Book, if you know those. So I don't need a notebook, but I could make use of it. I could find a use for it, which means that I can justify buying it. And then I can buy it together with a couple of pens also from the store. And I can describe the experience. I can experience it for myself and figure out what is the quality of this product. How does it feel, look? How long did it take to arrive? Is it worth the cost? All of those things. And we can adjust accordingly. So, yeah, anyway, I think that's what I was trying to say really, that once all of the stuff is imported, the plan is for her to find new items and for me to add them so that we can kind of like just add an item per day or something. It doesn't actually have to be a lot, but if we add one new item every day for a year, then we skip a few days here and there, and we end up with more than 500 products on the page at the end of the first year. Because remember, I started out with 140. So within the first year, like a year from now, we could potentially have 500 products on the site. And, that's pretty decent. That's more than decent, to be honest. 140 is already quite a bit, though it's not as much as we want, of course. We want to keep growing, keep expanding, and also to find new and interesting things to sell. And, I also need to start developing that app again. I've been thinking that it's about time I make a mood board. I really do need to have mood board, wireframe, and style tile down pat in just a couple of weeks. And I'm not sure that I can make that, but I'm going to try. I'm going to put in an effort and see how far I get. Hopefully I can make it. And if I do make it, then that ends with, me being ready to just straight up program the app. And then by the end of my vacation, I'll have an app, I'll have a store. I might even have those flashcards that we talked about producing for the first semester students. So, yeah. It's gonna be a productive summer. And I do understand why that one classmate of mine is worried that I'll, end up stressed. But I won't stress with it. I do what I can, and then I do 5% extra, but I never stress myself out. If I stressed myself out, I wouldn't be doing this, for example, because this is quote unquote a waste of time. I have no financial plans for this. This is not something that has an actual future. Sometimes I'm not even sure why I do it, but then I remember that it's a good outlet and that it's a nice way for me to kind of put something out there and get used to putting something out there. Every single time I see that someone has clicked a video of mine, it's nerve-wracking. But I've gotten more used to it now. I don't care as much. I honestly care less about the things I say right now than I did when I first started. When I first started, I was so nervous. What if I said the wrong thing? What if I did the wrong thing? What if, someone listened to it and blah, blah, blah. And now I just don't care as much. I still care quite a bit. But that's the thing. I'm working it out. I'm training here to not care as much, to just put things out there. So, if I was stressing, I wouldn't be doing this. Which means that, yeah. Oh, I also have an extension in mind that I want to create for Firefox. And then I hear that they should be relatively simple to port to Chrome. But, it's mostly for me. So, Firefox. And now you might be wondering, Firefox? Why? Well, actually, my primary browser is Brave. And then I also, right now, I have Brave, Opera, Opera GX, and Vivaldi all installed. Those are all Chromium based, and I actually think I have Chrome too, and then Edge, which is also Chromium based. But I like using Firefox for my work related things. I feel like Firefox has better inspection tools. Well, maybe not better. No, don't quote me on that actually. But more so, I feel more at ease with Firefox inspection tools. And the interface itself too is calmer, at least for the developer edition, I feel like. And that's the thing, I use the developer edition. And I'm just more comfortable doing all my work in there. So it's about separation of concerns again. I do my private stuff in Brave, and then I do my work stuff in Firefox. I've actually even been thinking about, and that's why I have Vivaldi and 2 versions of Chrome installed, is because I kind of want a third browser for school-related stuff, and a 4th browser for side projects. So that, because right now I tend to have a regular window and a private browsing window in order to have 2 signed in YouTube accounts without accidentally viewing something on one that I didn't want to view on the other. So I've got the private one and then this one. And yeah, like I said, I've actually been thinking about going all the way up to 4 different browsers because I just like separating my concerns, which might help you understand why I'm so opposed to the way Facebook does it. It's funny though that I like separating my concerns, and yet I want a brand. I'm interested in building a brand. I don't know. Maybe that's just me being a bit weird. Anyway, I'm gonna cut this one short today. It has been very enjoyable talking to you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye now.